Hello everyone. We're really sorry that we weren't able to go live as planned. We had some major technical issues. I'm really happy to say that Jigsaw Education has decided to collaborate with Diane McCann, who specialises in vibrational sound therapy. So our live today, which is now pre-recorded, is going to be talking to the amazing Diane, who you can see on our screens at the moment. Hello, Diane. We're going to be figuring out, or not even figuring out, we're going to be learning what vibrational sound therapy is, what science sound mindfulness is. Is that right? Have I got it right?
Yeah.
Yes, good. What that is, how Diane can help your child, but not just your child, how she can help you with her fantastic therapy that she does. So let's hear more about Diane. How are you, Diane?
I'm brilliant, thank you, Rebecca. So we did have a few tech issues, and I'd just like to congratulate Rebecca on persevering so much.
I tried. I did try.
Honestly, we did amazing. So the reason I've created Science Sound Mindfulness is I have a little boy who's adopted, and he came to live with me when he was 2.5. And in that time, we have been on such a journey, a huge journey. We are still on a journey, on a big learning curve. And what it showed me is that when I was a parent and I was reaching out and really needed some help, support, I was researching, needed some understanding, not many people could help. And as a parent, you just feel helpless. My child just needed so much help from external agencies, and it's not their fault. This isn't a blame thing. It's just they're overstretched and they will only take the worst of the worst children, which unfortunately is just fact. So this led me to create Science Sound Mindfulness. I knew that there were parents out there who needed support, and I knew that there were children who definitely needed support. Now, with my little boy, obviously he's adopted and he does have a background in history. And one of the most famous quotes that has always stuck with me is from Pam Leo, which actually says, "Let's raise children now so that they don't have to recover from their childhood when they're adults."
Yeah, I agree.
Which is one powerful statement, you know. So I created this program because I'm experienced in working with sound. Sound is my passion. I love calming techniques, relaxing techniques, and mindfulness. So what I've done is I've created the program which incorporates various mindfulness techniques for children together with the sound. So with the mindfulness techniques, it's got lots of different ones in there for the children to experiment with and experience, because we're all different. Yeah, so some people will like some techniques, some will like others. There's different breathing techniques. They get a relaxation story and they get the sound. Now, the sound brings a really special element to the program, because what we have here, this is what we call a tuning fork for people who haven't seen them before. And when you strike the fork and you listen, now I'm not going to let the sound die out because it takes a long time, but you'd finish for the sound to stop, and then you'd strike and do the other ear. Now, this is quite a straightforward, simple process, but what many people don't understand is what's going on behind it all. So I call this R&R, rhythm and repetition. And simply by striking the fork and listening to the rhythm, waiting and repeating, what it does is it actually calms down the brain waves. Brain focuses on the sound, and the stressor that the child is going through, anxiety, anger, upset, sadness, whatever is going on, disappears. It just completely calms down, it soothes the nervous system, and the cortisol levels will drop down. So what I've found with a lot of children that I work with is the main thing that they need help with is regulating a dysregulated nervous system, which is really important. If we can bring down the cortisol levels, then the child has a fighting chance of actually being able to remain calm, become in control of their own self-regulation. Now, when you use and listen to the tuning fork, you're balancing the right and the left hemispheres of the brain. So you've got the feeling part and the thinking part. And in our day, if we experience stress or overwhelm, what happens is that the feeling part takes over, and we're just like, whoa, and we can explode. Okay? So by balancing the two hemispheres of the brain, we're creating and joining up pathways. And by doing that, it means that if we practice this every day, when we do have those feelings of overwhelm, those really big feelings, we're able to cope with them much better and much calmer. It's amazing. People think that they should do meditation just because they're going through a bit of a rough time, but we should be doing meditation and mindfulness every day. And the ideal time to be practicing it is when we're actually calm.
So
Because
can
when
I
we're doing
ask,
it when we're calm,
can I
yeah,
ask how you got involved in that? So I know you said
yeah,
obviously it was for your little boy, who had,
yeah.
but why was it that made you decide to train into that specifically?
With the sound specifically, I was trained in it before I adopted my son.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, always actually, like, when I changed career paths, I got quite into the holistic route. It's always fascinated me.
Yeah.
And by going down that route, I just stumbled across sound.
Right.
And I knew, as everyone does when they find their passion, I just knew instantly that sound
that
was my thing.
yours.
Yeah, I knew it was my bag. Because it's just simple, it's effective, and it just works on so many levels. It works physically, emotionally, mentally, and it has a lot of science behind it, which I actually run through in the program with the children. And it shows how our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions actually affect us on a cellular level. It's just amazing.
And what kind of feedback have you received from your clients?
I've received some brilliant feedback. There was one child who was very reluctant to go to school. In fact, he wasn't even in school.
Right.
And he did the program, and he's now back in school. He feels much able to cope with his feelings and his overwhelm. One mum paid me a really big compliment, and she actually said that it's the first time ever she's not had to drag her son reluctantly anywhere.
Right,
He was
okay.
actually willing.
He was willing.
He was actually willing to come to the program because he just found it so interesting. He enjoyed it. It made him feel calm. And what I do with the children is when we start at the beginning of each program, I get them to check in with their feelings,
Right.
and then they check in at the end, and they're always on a different level. So wherever they were, they've all escalated down. So say, for example, they were on like an orange.
Right.
At the end, most of them are on a green.
Oh,
it's very rare.
Okay.
So what that does is it's actually getting them used to understanding how they're feeling, and they can actually visually not only see but feel the change that by doing some calming and relaxation, what that actually does for them. It's just amazing.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. Yeah. So what would you say to somebody who was slightly reluctant to try, your vibrational sound, or what would you say to somebody who was slightly skeptical about it? Because I'm sure you must come across people like that.
Yeah, you do, and I love it because I think I've never known anybody not like it. But I think for me, the way I relate it to people is that we all love music, we all love sound.
We do, yeah.
And
that's true.
music can affect us in so many ways. We hear songs, they can invoke so many memories. It can make us sad, it can make us happy.
Yeah.
Special times of people. Now, all this it's the same. It's just sound, yeah? And it can just make you feel relaxed. It makes you feel happy. It invokes a real feeling of well-being and peace. A lot of children mention the word peace to me, which is just amazing. It helps them focus and concentrate. And I would say to anybody, all you have to do is listen. It's not a complicated process. All you're doing is just listening. So what have you got by not giving? What are you going to miss by not giving it a go?
I
You know?
agree. And because our workshop focuses on, so the one from February is 14 to 16-year-olds, it's
Yeah,
a brainer, really.
yeah,
It would be beneficial for them in that core moment in their education, because
yeah.
it's GCSE time, isn't it? So, what advice would you give to those students who are possibly considering coming on the workshop and the benefits of your program for them in terms of their education?
I would say that for these children coming on for the literacy, what it's actually going to do is, as you're experiencing, like learning, and you've got exams coming up, you can get really nervous and really stressed out about it. You're trying to take in lots of facts, and your brain can just go to mush. Or you actually go in, sit the exam, and you think you've got it all sussed out, and then you just go, "Oh my god, I can't remember it all." So what the sound actually does is it actually enables the children to stop focusing on the stressor, which is where we spoke about the rhythm and repetition. And it's going to strengthen up their concentration levels and their focus. They're going to be learning the breathing technique to get them through it as well, and adopting the ones that they want to choose. And it's just going to give them a feeling of being in control, I suppose, and being able and knowing confidently that they can do this and they can manage it. Yeah. It's just changing that mindset, positive mindset.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is what I'm a massive believer in, that as we think, so we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Positivity all the way. And in our lives, even in our day-to-day, we have bumps in our day that can affect us. And what this program does is it teaches them and shares and shows them how to cope with that. And, I've worked with a lot of adults, and I would say that the majority of adults I've worked with have suffered trauma and a lot of hurt from the past as children.
Right, yeah.
Now having to work through and unravel. And one of the reasons I'm so passionate, which I've sort of mentioned at the beginning about this program, is the fact that I really, really want to help children move forwards in their lives and have the coping skills to take them forwards without suffering stress or anxiety. Big things, mental health illness, and it's an awful thing to say. It's so sad, but the rise in children with suicide rates, especially as teenagers, is massive.
Oh, and it's increasing as well. It's
It's,
rapidly
it's,
increasing.
it's so
Yeah.
it's so scary. And I've had people actually say to me, not just parents but friends, that their children have actually said, they don't feel that they can cope in life. The pressure at school is immense. And that's why I think that I know this program is going to really help them, because if we're not shown skills to cope with in life, to feel calm and relaxed, everything just snowballs and then it gets out of control. And it's just really important to get those foundations in at a young age, younger than teenagers, really.
Yeah.
And just let these children cope going forwards, and knowing that they can do it, and just, positive mindset.
That's why we collaborated with you. No, it's true though, because being in education for so long, you have so many students, mature or young, or even as adults, that I think confidence is a massive contributing factor to achievement or underachievement. And because we are so stressed with how much content we need to get in before their exam, we tend to sometimes forget or neglect that mindfulness and that mindset, and the confidence and self-esteem and the resilience. And so that's one of the reasons why we thought with this workshop this time round, in comparison to the last workshop that we did, that it was important to build that in. So I'm not going to give any more of your secrets away.
I would say that, I totally agree with that, because for children who especially suffer quite low emotional well-being, that they find it so difficult difficult to learn because they're
yeah.
coping with all the other stuff, all of the other emotions, that learning becomes so far down the line
Yeah.
because of all the other stuff that they're trying to deal with.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, emotional well-being is one of the biggest things we should be teaching our children.
Massively, yeah.
You know,
Should
on
be,
the program, yeah, we're going to be covering skills to help them with calming, relaxation, managing emotions, feeling, anger, tolerance, kindness, self-acceptance, self-belief, releasing tension. It's a whole host of things going on.
Exactly. So if people wanted to get in touch with you, not necessarily about the program, if they wanted to get in touch with you personally about your services, what's the best way that they can do that?
I would say go onto my website, www.vibrationalsoundtherapy.co.uk, and on there is a contact submission form. And also have a look on my Facebook page, which is Facebook Vibrational Sound Therapy Kent, where you'll see lots of posts and interesting articles and support, really. And it gives you more of a flavour for what I'm really about.
Fantastic. So for this live, we have decided that if people are going to watch this live or recorded video, that we will give 15% off. I know that's a bit cheeky because I don't normally do discounts because I feel like our programs are so cost effective with what we provide. That is only limited and valid, until the 15th of December. So if you are interested in allowing your child to work more with Diane, if you're interested in developing your child's literacy for their GCSEs, or even just life after school if they're going to college or an apprenticeship, then please get in touch with us. You can either message us on our Facebook or comment on the comment on the video below. And we really look forward to working with you and your child. So I want to say thank you to Diane. Thank you to everyone that's been watching. Please share this video. And if you've watched it, please do a hashtag replay because obviously it's not live. Hopefully we will come on live soon before the event that starts in February, before the workshop begins, so that we can interact with you a bit more. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Rebecca. Bye. Thank you. Bye.